Welcome, everyone, to the Jim Thomas Gym Business Explainer, powered by MaxMembers.ai. A big welcome to all of our listeners, gym owners, operators, managers, salespeople, gym entrepreneurs, and personal trainers. Today, we're going to be walking you through a white paper by Jim Thomas, and our goal is simple, to give you insights you can actually use.
And hey, a quick note for those of you looking to open a new gym, acquire one, or if you just need some working capital. We can help with funding options up to $500K. The best part? It's unsecured with no restrictions on use. You can check us out at fmconsulting.net.
Okay, let's just get right into it. Is your gym in a downturn? It's a tough question to ask yourself, isn't it? But you know the signs. Revenue is dipping, member churn is starting to climb, and the energy in the building just feels off. It's a feeling a lot of owners know all too well.
When that pressure hits, what's our first instinct? Well, it's to panic, right? But Jim Thomas gives us the core principle for this whole thing right here on this slide. Turnarounds are not built on panic. They're built on pressure and precision. This is all about being strategic, not just reactive.
So, what does that panic actually look like in the real world? It's exactly what you'd think. Slashing prices, cutting staff hours, freezing the marketing budget. These are the knee-jerk reactions that feel like you're doing something. But Jim's whole point is that they actually speed up the decline. You're accidentally weakening your business from the inside out.
And this right here, this is the golden rule. You cannot build a strong house on a cracked foundation. If your day-to-day operations are a mess, throwing marketing dollars at the problem is just throwing good money after bad. You have to stabilize first. You just don't scale dysfunction.
So how do we actually do that? It all starts with phase one, stop the bleed. And look, this isn't about fancy rebranding or some new influencer campaign. This is all about regaining operational control in the next 30 days, and it's built on 7 key pillars.
Pillar 1 is all about cash clarity. On the left, you see what happens way too often. Guessing at numbers, no real tracking, no discipline. The turnaround begins on day 1, with the actions on the right, a full 90-day bank review, a complete expense audit, and a real collections campaign. Knowing your numbers is what kills the panic.
Now, let's look at this number because you really need to let this sink in. 5 to 7 times. That's how much more it costs to acquire a new member than it does to keep an existing one. In a downturn, most owners get this completely backward. They're chasing new leads while the back door is wide open. Which brings us right to Pillar 2, protect your existing members. This has to become your profit shield. But it's not a passive thing, it's active. It's about actually picking up the phone and calling inactive members, launching engagement challenges, and training your staff on how to save cancellations. You have to fight for the customers you already have. All right, let's move on to Pillar 3. And wow, this quote really says it all. Eagles don't fly with turkeys. A struggling gym almost always has a culture of low standards and, well, loose accountability. A turnaround demands a massive shift in this department.
And this slide just lays out the contrast perfectly. That whole "we're like family" excuse to avoid tough conversations, that has to go. It gets replaced by non-negotiable standards, daily huddles, clear targets, and the simple understanding that while trying is nice, production is what pays the bills.
Pillar 4 tackles that panic pricing we mentioned earlier. Slashing prices to $10 enrollments just attracts price shoppers, and it fundamentally damages your brand. The strategic move is to position on value. You have to sell the transformation, the community, the results, not just access to equipment.
Now this next insight, for Pillar 5, this is huge. It is so easy for salespeople to blame bad leads. But what Jim points out is that the real issue is almost always a lack of process. There's no structure for follow-up, no script, no accountability for conversion rates. It's a sales management problem.
Let's talk marketing with Pillar 6. This quote is absolutely essential. You cannot market chaos. Think about it. If your gym is dirty, morale is low, and the equipment's broken, spending money on ads is like pouring water into a bucket that's full of holes. You have to fix the internal energy first.
And the final pillar of stabilization, well, this one's about you, the leader. When things get tough, rumors spread, silence creates fear. You have to get out in front and control the narrative. This means communicating a clear, confident 30-day plan to your team. Your tone sets the tone for everyone.
Okay, so we've covered the 7 pillars, but you might be thinking, how do I actually implement all this? Well, that's where the blueprint comes in. This makes the entire process feel manageable and breaks it down into concrete weekly steps.
Let's just walk through this because the order of operations is critical. Notice the flow here. Week 1 is all internal. getting your money right, your staff aligned, and your retention efforts started. You don't even think about external marketing until week 4, and that's only after the foundation has been stabilized. It's a logical, disciplined progression from chaos to control.
Now, we can talk about tactics and blueprints all day long, but honestly, none of it works without the right mindset from leadership. The turnaround doesn't just happen in the gym. It happens in your head first.
And this slide really clarifies what matters. You don't need a miracle, a new logo, or a fancy new line of treadmills. What you need is urgency, structure, and an obsession with discipline and retention. It's all about operational excellence, not expensive, superficial fixes.
And we'll leave this section with another powerful line from Jim. You know, pressure is a test. It reveals whether you retreat or whether you push forward with a plan. A turnaround is the ultimate test of strong, strategic leadership.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that this isn't just theory, it's a call to action. The work doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts the moment you decide to stop panicking and start executing a plan. Your turnaround starts today.
If you're ready to implement these systems or you need help engineering a full-scale turnaround, please don't do it alone. Reach out to Jim Thomas directly. His number is 214-629-7223, and you can also email him at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
And that is a wrap on our explainer. A huge thank you to our sponsor, Jim Business Manager. Be sure to check them out for the best Jim software you can get. You can find them at jimbusinessmanager.com.